It is 1 week to go until California's primary is over, but you can vote right now. Congresswoman Katie Porter is making a run for the U.S. Senate, as you know, so whether Porter advances the November general election or not, she's leaving behind her House of Representatives seat, which creates an opening in California's 47th district, which is, by the way, one of the most competitive congressional seats in the whole country. 4 top contenders are looking to make it past the March 5th primary. They are Republican Scott Baugh, Democrat Dave Min, Republican Max Krupina, and Democrat Joanna Weiss. We've offered each of them an opportunity to join us live on our 6 o'clock news to make their case to voters. Last week, we spoke with the Republicans, Krupina and Baugh, and tonight we continue our series with litigator and founder of Women for American Values and Ethics, Joanna Weiss. Welcome to the show for the first time.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
For people that are just getting to know you and want to know a little bit about your background, tell us a little bit about you and why you're doing this.
Well, I am born and raised in Orange County. My dad was a naval flight officer who flew F-4 jets during Vietnam. My mom was a public school teacher. They instilled in me the values of giving back to your community. I attended Orange County Public Schools and then went to UCLA and USC for law school. After law school, my husband and I settled back in Orange County, where we raised our family. We've been married for 25 years and have 3 beautiful children, adult-age children. And when we moved back, I was a business litigator, but contributed somewhere between 200 to 500 hours a year of pro bono work, giving back to my community, seniors on fixed income, domestic violence survivors. And then when Trump was elected, founded a nonprofit called WAVE, Women for American Values and Ethics, where we started electing leaders that shared our values and did work in the community to make sure that we were stemming what was coming down, at that point, the Trump extremism.
And we're just showing some of your video. Heck of a surfer, too.
Thank you. Thank you. I picked it up as a midlife hobby, so yeah, appreciate that.
So it's been quite a wave right now in terms of this race, and it's gotten kind of nasty between you and Dave Min, who is somebody who was endorsed by Katie Porter in this race. It seems really close in the polls right now. What is the biggest difference that you want voters to think about when they're deciding between you and him?
I think it really comes down to trust. You know, after the 2016 election, I founded a nonprofit based on values and ethics to make sure we were electing leaders that reflected our shared values. And I have been a professor of law, teaching pro bono law, making sure we're raising up that next generation, serving their community. And where my opponent has volunteered his time with the Federalist Society, Brett Kavanaugh's conservative judicial program that is seeking to take away women's right to choose. And he also made a very poor decision to get behind the wheel of a car when he was almost twice the legal limit as a state senator. And I think that's a real breach of trust that the public deserves to know about. And with that kind of record, and once he was in office, he had ran on a no corporate PAC pledge campaign. As soon as he was in office, accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I think continually breaking the public's trust at a time when the public is a bit distrustful of Washington, that sending another career politician is not really what the voters are looking for.
So after that DUI, he apologized to the people, admitted wrongdoing there. Do you think that makes him unelectable?
You know, I think 2 things on that. One, that the, you know, driving a state Senate vehicle at twice the legal limit while you're a state senator does not represent the district well and could be disqualifying in and of itself. But I would also say that in the days afterwards, he did lie to voters. He lied to the public about how many drinks he had. I think there was not necessarily the accountability that he could have had with it and might have handled it quite better.
Let's talk also about what's happening at the border right now. There was this big bipartisan compromise that didn't go forward in the House. Both Max Krupina and Scott Baugh were on last week and basically talked that down, saying that isn't the way to go forward. Do you think there's a real crisis at the border, and what should we do about it?
I do think there's a crisis at the border. We have had more than a generation without substantive immigration reform. It's been more than 30 years. It's long past time that we address the humanitarian and business issues that come with our stonewalling on a lot of the immigration visas that are being processed, and on the humanitarian side, the asylum. I'm hopeful that if we send politicians who can have bolder ideas and are not necessarily worried about their next re-election, that we can make some progress here.
Would you have voted for that bill?
I would probably need to examine it a bit more, but I thought that the Dignity Act is a bill that I would support more. I think that that is more comprehensive and addresses some of the security concerns in a little bit more of a humanitarian way of dealing with the asylum issues as well.
All right. Well, I wish we could keep talking, but unfortunately we're out of time. But you can go to Joanna Weiss's website, get more information about her positions, and we encourage everybody to go vote. Remember, March 5th is the last day. Dave Min will be in here tomorrow night to share his perspective. Marla, what's coming up next?
All right, from politics.